Good morning. Welcome to our Thankful Thursday, a day of Guru, a day of Guruvar. Let's learn something more. Let's bow down to the Guru in us to learn and to grow and to evolve and to help others. Let's start our morning with the power of dreams programming. Let's manifest our dreams by some fluid movement. More power to us, more power to our dreams. So, yesterday we were studying about the scanner mode. We were talking about what all we have done, how far, what have I done. And we even analyzed ourselves that some bigger, smaller accomplishments of ours we wrote down as assignment. Now, today we're supposed to read about what are our rewards. So, one page prior, please. Okay, in fact, the next page. We'd already read this. Next page. Yes. What are your rewards? Now look at what have I done so far. So did you look at your list? Did you write your list? Very important for all of us to understand that it's very, very important for us to see what have I done so far. You have, some of you have, which is wonderful, which is like go to the next level. Now list all of these things that you have done. Now pick up a pencil and see if you can remember anything that interested you, even for a very short span of time, and add it to your list. Then ask yourself about two questions about everything on the list. What was the most exciting or interesting part of the experience? Why did you stop when you did? Very important to think about this. कुछ भी छोटे टाइम के लिए भी हमें अच्छा लगा था, हमने क्यों रोक दिया? What made us stop? Go back and rethink the moment you stopped being absorbed in the project, when you began to lose interest or started having doubts. What had gone away? When the magnet that originally attracted you started diminishing in power, you've done what you set out to do. Your purpose for being there is gone. That's when you lose interest, not because you're flawed or lazy or unable to focus, but because you're finished. It seems obvious, but it never occurs to most of us. Now, start another column beside your list and title it Rewards. Next to each activity or interest you entered, write down the rewards you got from that activity. Here's how some other people answered. Kate says, I've loved art since I was little, but when I showed some talent, I was funneled into an arts program so I could have a successful career. And at that point, I lost interest. So do you see the pattern? She was interested in art, but the minute somebody said, okay, this becomes your career, and she was put in a program, she lost interest because now she can no longer create what she wants. She has to go with the curriculum. Then I fell in love with acting, but after a while, it became more like a business, the business of filling seats. It's been that way with everything I've enjoyed doing. As soon as it became practical, it lost importance. I never knew why. I just figured out what went away. It was self expression, taking what was inside me and letting it flow out. I loved that. Since I was a little kid, that was the only part of any activity that mattered to me. Jill says, I took up karate and was obsessed until I got my brown belt. And then I just stopped trying to get better. It was kind of embarrassing. Everyone said I had so much promise. And then I got passionate about Russian. For 2 years, I ate, drank, slept Russian. But when I felt I could speak and read it comfortably, I stopped. While I still enjoy Russian karate too, I don't feel any drive to focus on them. I was told it was fear of success, but that never felt right. But something did go away. It was a challenge to go from ignorance to competence. That steep climb to master something that demands every bit of focus I have. I love that kind of challenge. When it's over, I want to leave. When you're getting a reward from any activity, you always feel happy, absorbed, energetic. And when you're satisfied or the reward diminishes, you get bored. It's as natural as sitting down to eat when you're hungry and leaving when you're full. The next question is, isn't everyone involved in rewards and durations? So that's what let's understand. How are we, if you're a scanner, how are we different from anyone else? All people have their own rewards and durations, don't they? Yes, they do. But with the exception of some specialists who have a passion for their field, very few people are as intensely interested in what they do as scanners. Almost no one has such a low tolerance for boredom as scanners for them. Boredom is excruciating. And by definition, no one has any as many different interests as scanners. This makes their comings and goings very noticeable to the eyes of others. But the main reason scanners are different from others and the reason they get noticed for not sticking to anyone is because they learn faster than almost anyone. The typical scanner runs through her interests in record time because she has a big, hungry brain and favorite food is learning. Scanners love learning more than anything else, and learning is what they are most talented at. Of course, there's no major in any college called learning. You can't get a degree in that, and there's no point in trying to specialize in the field of learning theory because once you understand the issues, you leave that field as fast as any other. So don't worry. I promise you'll find many satisfying, delightful careers and lifestyles for scanners later in this book. But to take full advantage of those opportunities, you need to know about your own rewards. Understanding your rewards is like finding a long lost birth certificate. It'll help you understand your true identity. So, of course, these rewards are coming up in the next few chapters, but let's understand right now what draws us to our activity or any activity that we choose to take up in life. So, it's not always easy to answer this very important question, but I've compiled a list that will help you. It's made up of the most common reward scanners have mentioned to me. Open your scanner notebook and keep a pencil at hand so you can take notes while you read. So is everyone ready with the scanner notebook? Do you have it in front of you? Yeah, I see a couple of hands and heads nodding. So please take a pencil and please take your book with us. And I see some highlighters, very fun, fabulous. So let's read. Knowing how to do lots of things so I can always jump in and help makes me feel capable. Insights, revelations, discoveries, glimpses that make me say, I never knew that. Anything new, people, places, experiences. Having impact, being seen like being a teacher, a performer, a minister, a guru, or a politician. Exercising intelligence because it feels good. Sensation, hearing, moving, smelling, seeing, touching. Using all parts of myself, my logic, my intuition, my empathy, my abilities. Challenging myself, testing my limits, seeing how good I can be. Studying anything like how to make sushi, how to sing medieval songs, creating something that didn't exist before, creating solutions to problems. Vision, imagining possibilities, building prototypes, getting things planned. Beauty, beautiful things make the world go round. having beauty around me, reorganizing beauty which is not obvious, building expertise, a reputation, a body of work, belonging, finding a community where I can be myself, be part of something I admire, discovering what's going on, how things run, what's behind the surface, pulling together the big picture, leaving nothing out, seeing relationships between things, saving the day, being competent and stepping in to fix things other people don't know how to fix. So these are your rewards, okay? You just write them on the left hand side that, okay, this is what I've done, in case you're not clear of what you've done. Helping others with my skills or knowledge. So if you're a helping angel, that's the one probably for you. Learning by doing, or say while working, while implementing, you're learning something. For example, how a carpenter builds a table, how to make maple syrup, how to speak a few words of a language that's nothing like my own, or how to implement a book's learning, which I'm learning, but I'm not yet implemented. So I'm learning by doing it. Now, did this list remind you of some of the attractions you had forgotten or stimulate you to come up with more? Be sure to write them down and keep track of the rewards you connect with. They are at the heart of your scanner identity, the fuel that drives you towards everything that interests you. Some of them, like learning, apply to all scanners. Others are type specific and will help you figure what is important for you and what type of scanner you later on will be. For now, you simply need to become alert to rewards and durations. They'll help you design the right kind of life for yourself. And they certainly shine a light on why you act the way you do, don't they? To rephrase something I remember about the I Ching, no blame to the scanner who loves and leaves many things. So no more blame game. And जो भी हमने अभी तक accomplish किया है, उसमें हमें ढूंढना है कि कुछ ऐसा रिवॉर्ड क्या है जो मैंने उसमें उसके लिए स्टार्ट किया था या फाइंड किया. इट डजंट मैटर मैंने कंप्लीट नहीं किया, क्यों शुरू किया था मैंने एंड क्यों रोका था मैंने. थोड़ा सा आपको अपने लिए रेवलेशन आएगा. So why have you been told there's something wrong with you? I hope it's becoming clear by now that you're an intelligent, productive person, but you're very good at getting any reward that's important to you. If you do a good job at what you're designed for, like a bee does, you're a total success. So why have you been made to feel that you were anything less than that? Why have you been given such a hard time by those around you? I think the answer is ignorance. You've been misdiagnosed as someone who's supposed to do something different. It's as if a wolf was searching as an inferior whale. The truth is, when you act like a scanner, you're not doing anything wrong. You never did anything wrong. Plain and simple, the worst thing that can be done about a scanner is that he doesn't stick to things as long as other people think he should. It looks like they got it wrong, not you. If they knew rewards and durations, they might change their minds. Then again, they might not. No matter, the point is that you understand. Ella's mouth fell open. When you say it that way, it changes everything. I feel like I just got a pardon after being in jail all my life. At first, she was beaming, but when she became thoughtful, she looked out of the window at nothing, shaking her head regretfully. What is it, Ella? I asked. Something I never forgot from my childhood. When I was about 7, my teacher read us a story called Rusty in Orchestraville, about a little boy who could make up his mind which instrument he wanted to learn. And so he ended up not playing anything and couldn't be part of the orchestra. That story made me feel terrible all my life. I knew that was me and I thought I'd never be part of any orchestra. That story needs a new ending because I've seen it play out completely differently. In my experience, Rusty became a famous conductor. He's needed to study all the instruments because instrument is the whole orchestra. So there's always a silver lining to the dark cloud. And that dark cloud is something that we've probably been finding, but we have not been finding this, we've not been seeing the silver lining. We've been thinking we're living in a dark cloud, and that's why we're not sufficient enough, because the world is rewired in a way that they tell us you're not like normal. But when you're not normal, why would you be like normal? You're extraordinary. You're not ordinary. So when this beautiful statement was told by Barbara Sher to Ella, she smiled. I'm the whole orchestra. I need to understand the entire instruments. I'm not just a part of one symphony. Dear Barbara, I don't know why I couldn't find my one thing to have to love while doing whatever I did until I read your definition of a scanner. That seems to be just who I am. Now I feel that I have permission to move ahead as many fronts as I want. I have several hobbies: reading fiction, non-fiction, investing, fundraising for local Alzheimer's Association, crocheting, drawing, gardening. My career is in nonprofit management, accounting, and human resource management, where there are always too many things to accomplish and not enough hands and minds to do everything. I love diversification. So taking each task, each project as it comes along and taking and giving it my best, learning new ideas and better ways of doing things as I go along. There's so many things that I want to try my hand at and accomplish. Recently, I've been looking into starting a small business. My family thinks I'm going off on yet another wild fantasy. My boyfriend is very supportive. He thinks that at age 39, I have been successful enough at doing things I shall be able to do if I decide something that is what I want. At some point, I should like to run for elected office. I have plans in mind for several books. I have a gallery showing of my art. And if this fits with your definition of scanner, then yay, yuppie, I am a scanner. So now, all the question is, we are reading all about the scanner and we're trying to find, okay, this may be me. But now let's look at whatever, anything and everything that interests us. Because now we are free in our mind. And we've been told by people that, too many things going on. Come on, one thing, you're not normal. But now that we know that we are not normal because we're extraordinary, because we are a scanner, so let's understand more roles and more things about scanner, more virtues about scanner. It's nice to know that you're a scanner, isn't it? The freedom that comes with that knowledge is pure heaven. Now, when a new idea comes along, you can allow yourself to get as absorbed as you like. Treat it like a fascinating visitor. Pay full attention for as long as you like, and when you find something losing interest, trust that feeling. There's usually a good reason for it. Your scanner daybook will give you the opportunity to delve into anything that catches your interest. It'll allow you to spend time with a fascinating visitor for as long or as short time as you wish. Will the world accommodate your style? Will others happily allow you to stop working on something whenever you feel like it? I doubt it. But when it comes to your own projects, who cares? The important thing is that you no longer have to care about anything what people say, or you no longer have to feel terrible because you start so many things and you don't allow through on them. And that's a powerful change of viewpoint and a fantastic way to launch the wonderful life you're about to reclaim. I'm happy to tell you that you've got some very good times ahead. Or are you having a little trouble enjoying this good news because you can't help wondering if all this fun and game leads anywhere? So now is the next chapter. All of us are going to read. This new chapter is chapter number 3. And right now, if you've had any doubts about it, let's understand when do we hit a panic button. So if they're scanners and if they hit panic, chapter number 3, scanners always hear a clock ticking. Every time they see their birthday or the new year coming, they start to panic. If you ask them what's wrong, they usually say, I can't find the one thing I can stick to. I'm terrified that I'll never find it. But that's over, right? Once you know you're not supposed to find one thing only, there's no need to panic anymore. You're a scanner and you'll always be interested in many fields. So your panic can subside, right? But it doesn't. In fact, once you understand there's no need to find that one right path and that your critics simply don't understand you, once you've accepted the freedom to follow any interest you have, something very interesting happens. Your real fears come to the front. And they're more like this. Will I ever actually get to use what's inside me? Will anyone know I was here? I remember bursting into tears when someone told me about the thought that everyone had destiny. I don't. I sobbed. I sat in the middle of the things that started and dropped, and they seemed like a worthless waste of time. Compared with the dread of not using her potential, Scanner's other fears fade in significance. A scanner senses her own beliefs, but is pulled in many directions. She often accomplishes very little. As she watches the years pass, the picture of her still sitting in the sidelines when the game is over creates a growing sense of panic. So many of you will feel कि इतना time बीत गया मैं तो life में कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा किया ही नहीं. Now, that's you because you're a scanner. इतना कुछ किया है पर आपने उसको गेज नहीं किया. कल शायद आप लोग के सामने एक ड्रामेटिक रेवोल्यूशन आया होगा जब आपने देखा होगा कि अरे ये भी किया, ये भी किया, ये भी किया. Now scanners are not being dramatic or inventing this danger. When you have unused potential, you're driven to use it. Since by your very nature you can't devote yourself to one goal and you don't know how to manage many goals, you're in real danger of living an unused life. But you don't have to flounder and found your own way anymore. This is your manual. You are on your way to fulfilling all the potential. You've already completed the first two lessons. You know you're a scanner and you know about the rewards and durations that drive your behavior. So now you're ready for the next lesson, the scanner's problem with time. Scanner's time. So all of us have now realized कि okay, कुछ ना कुछ rewards मिलते हैं, कुछ ना कुछ time चलता रहता है. मुझे time से डरना ही नहीं है because मुझे कुछ one thing नहीं ढूंढना है because I'm a scanner. मुझे multiple चीजों में interest आएगा. पहली बात तो हमें वो acceptance आ गई कि अरे that's why I'm retuned and rewired. तभी मैं stick नहीं कर पाती किसी एक चीज में. तभी मैं यहाँ people say keep flipping. Barbara shared ki earlier books mein she discussed with what is called time sickness, a state of mind frequently found in scanners in which our whole sense of time is compacted into the present moment and we actually forget that tomorrow exists. And that translates into the belief that if you put off things that you love, it will be lost forever. And when you love more things than you can possibly believe now, time sickness creates panic. Panic makes it impossible to see a solution. Panic's secret reason to just calm down because fear is a primitive and powerful defense mechanism not easily controlled. In fact, the only useful and lasting way I've found to reduce fear is to reduce the danger that's causing it. Let's see the process now. Will anyone know I was here? I'm nothing but an amateur and that's all I'll ever be, said a woman at one of the workshops. You only read about experts in history books, they'll never write about me. She was wrong about that. Many famous people all through history have been scanners. The funny thing is that the most famous for both amateurs and experts. So there's nothing like a do and a don't in life, right? Now, Aristotle is so famous. He was interested in philosophy, logic, science, physics, astronomy, psychology, prophecy, zoology, theater, poetry, and he lived in Greece a few hundred years BC ago. And no one could have called him a Delante. They would have called you Aristotle. Not only could Aristotle never pick a major, he studied things no one had ever studied before. He taught without credentials in those fields because they weren't anyone who could hand out to him. Now, Aristotle would have liked a scanner like you. He's said to have given two kinds of lectures, the more detailed discussions in the morning in a circle of advanced students, and the popular discourses in the evening for the general body of lovers of knowledge. Which one would you have attended if you're like me? Both. चूज करना आता ही नहीं, सब में इंटरेस्ट है, सुबह भी करेंगे, शाम को भी करेंगे. Now, if you lived in the 1700s in America and moved between a dozen interests like science, business, music, philosophy, politics, you wouldn't have been called indecisive or scattered. You'd have been called Benjamin Franklin. He is the author of aphorism that stirs up panic in every scanner's heart. If you would not be forgotten as soon as you're written, either write things worth reading or do things worth the writing. Both he and Aristotle did both, and they were not forgotten. But what few people remember is that both these men were complete amateurs. They lacked any kind of credentials that would have given them respect or even a job today. That's because most of us have forgotten what the word amateur really means. Amateur from Latin, one who loves, somebody who does something for pleasure rather than for pay, somebody who has only limited skill in or knowledge of an activity, somebody who loves or is greatly interested in something, somebody who appreciates and wants to understand so many things that she can't possibly specialize in one field. That's a scanner. Okay, I slipped in that fourth one because I hope it will actually be there one day after we manage to restore that beautiful word amateur to the highest status it deserves. What about your family? You don't live in classical Greece or the 18th century. You might feel like the scanner who wrote this. I've been laughed at and teased for such a long time. All I want is to stick to something until I can finally get some respect for it. It's all very nice to be free to do what you want without feeling guilty. And it feels good that Aristotle would have liked you, but he's not here right now and he can't help you with the feeling of failure that's plagued you for so long. What will make your life count in the mind of your family? It depends on this definition of success. Now, in Rosemary's family, what mattered most was being the best, getting acclaim, looking good for the neighbors. So, all of us need validation. Get that very, very clearly. हम पहले भी चाहते थे, आज भी चाहते हैं, कल भी चाहेंगे. Because we like the idea of being complimented, and what's wrong with it? It's all right to accept. Success की definition क्या है? हमें नहीं पता. For us scanners or mobile people, when someone compliments us, it's success. Rosemary family में what matters most was being the best, getting acclaim, looking good for the neighbors. दूसरों के लिए, looking good to others. Was there any special desire that drove you to become a photojournalist? I asked. I did it for the acclaim. I'm surprised you did. Sure. That's all my family talked about at dinner. Oh, who's successful? Not money, not accomplishment, not accolades, not awards. They tried to be a little different from everyone else, so they weren't impressed with investment bankers. They sneered at others. But the top artists or top scientists, they were amazing. Even my dad's border collies are all about winning awards, activity awards, not appearance awards, but it's still the same thing. Everything is about how you look to the neighbors. That's the whole thing. Forget happiness, just be the best. A family's definition of success can cause a powerful conflict in anyone. The talented people have a special conflict. And scanners is multiplied with each talent. So very, very important for us to understand that we are all very talented. And each time now, that very slowly in the coming few days and weeks, we'll realize what all we are capable of and what all we can do. Tomorrow is yet another story where we'll read and learn a lot about scanners, about our world. Until then, let's keep resonating with thought. There's no homework for today, nothing at all. कल जो हमने लिखा था उसमें बस आप कॉलम में ऐड करिए कि वो रिवॉर्ड्स क्या हैं जो आपने कुछ भी अकम्प्लिश करे हैं वो क्या रिवॉर्ड्स हैं. दैट्स इट. सेल्फ एनालिसिस करना है कि किस पॉइंट पे मैंने छोड़ दिया था वो काम करना या क्यों शुरू किया था, रिवॉर्ड क्या मिला मुझे. All right, let's do a Surya Pranam. Our sun salutations come back.
The Surya Namaskar with mantras. Om Mitraye Namaha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Om Suryaye Namaha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Om Khagaye Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Hiranyagarbhaye Namaha. Om Marichaye Namaha. Om Adityay Namaha. Om Savitre Namaha. Om Arkay Namaha. Om Bhaskaray Namaha. Salutations to the universal friend. Salutations to the resplendent sun. Salutations to the energy that induces activity within us. Salutations to the one who illumines. Salutations to the sun moving across the sky. Salutations to the giver of strength. Salutations to the golden cosmic self. Salutations to the Lord of the dawn. Salutations to the son of Aditi, the cosmic mother. Salutations to the benevolent mother. Salutations to the energy that we praise and to the one who guides us to salvation. The sun salutation now with the names of the postures both in Sanskrit and English. Pranamasan, Hastuttanasan, Padahastasana. Left leg back, Ashvasanchalanasana. Parvatasana. And hold this position. And now slowly progressing into the deeper version of Parvatasana, Adho Mukh Svanasana. Ashtang Namaskar. Bhujangasana. Parvatasana. Left forward, Ashvasanchalanasana. Padahastasana. Hastutthanasana. Pranamasana. On the right side, prayer position. Raised arms pose. Hand to feet pose. Right leg back, equestrian pose. Mountain pose. Hold mountain pose. And slowly moving into the deeper version of mountain, the downward facing dog. Salute with 8 limbs. Cobra. Press back to mountain. Right forward, equestrian pose. Hand to feet pose. Raised arms position. Prayer pose. One round of the sun salutation with awareness on the breathing. So exhaling our hands to the chest, pranam. Inhaling as we bend back. We exhale as we fold forward. Left leg back, inhale as we're arching back. Exhale into the forward. Hold the breath for knees, chest, chin. Inhale as we arch back. Exhale into the forward. Left leg forward, inhale. This is a back bend. Exhale whenever we bend forward. Inhale as we bend back. Exhale, hands to the chest. And on the right, deep breathing. Exhale. A deep inhale. A long exhale. Right leg back with an inhale. And exhale. Hold the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Right leg forward with a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
All right, time to move to our creative visualization. So very, very important for us to know that creative visualization is a main essence of our growth, of our being, of our existence in a way. And if we can create that ideal scene, and creative visualization can be on its level best. Today is about 2 chapters intertwined and we'll read them both together. So creative visualization can take the form of mental imagery, of spoken or written words, or a physical image or pictures. We will see that in the next treasure map section. Right now, we're learning to create an ideal scene. Now, anything in life that helps us create a clear blueprint to put out in the universe is an aid in creative visualization. This exercise is very, very powerful. It will help us to create a clear picture through our written words. The process of doing it helps you get clearer about what you really want. It helps us manifest it. So very beautifully, Shakti Given says that she uses all in her important goals. Think of a goal that is important to you. Yesterday, you rewrote them down, right? So बहुत मुश्किल नहीं होगा याद करना. It can be a long range one or a short range one. Write down the goal as clearly as possible in one sentence. Underneath, that's right, ideal scene. And proceed to describe the situation exactly as you would like it to be when your goal is fully realized. So जब पूरा goal पूरा हो जाएगा, so how will we feel? Now describe in the present tense and affirmations as if it already exists, and it's as if too much of detail is given into it as we are wishing it. Now, when you have finished writing at the bottom, this or something better is now manifesting for me in total satisfying and harmonious ways for the highest good of all concerned. This is one line we've learned. I think by now we've remembered by rote, right? And this is something we have to say whenever we wish for anything, even when we wish for the stars. This or something better is now manifesting for me in totally satisfying and harmonious ways for the highest good of all concerned. And add as many affirmations as you wish and sign your name. Then sit quietly, relax, visualize your ideal scenes at your meditative level of mind and do your affirmations. Keep your ideal scene in your notebook, in your desk, near your bed, or hang it on your wall. Read it often and make appropriate changes when necessary. Bring it to mind during your meditation periods. One word of warning. If you put it away in a drawer and forget about it, you're very likely to find one day that it has manifested somehow without consciously putting our energy into it at all. That's why I keep saying, think on paper, write on paper. You will know very beautifully later in life, अरे उस समय प्लान किया था, and देखो हो भी गया. सोचा भी नहीं था कि सोचा था हमने ये चीज. इससे क्या होगा? संकल्प शक्ति बढ़ेगी हमारी. We'll write on paper, think on paper, and later we'll realize. I have often looked back through my old goals, ideal scenes, and treasure maps. Akshay, can you start?
Surprised to find that things I had completely forgotten about had magically come into being in my life, almost exactly as I had originally pictured them. Should I move on?
Please continue. So we really right now wrote about ideal scene. कि कैसे ideal scene होगा when we want it to be complete, our goals to be complete. Now the second part of this is treasure maps, which we began the chapter with. So let's go for it.
Making a treasure map is a very powerful technique and fun to do. A treasure map is an actual physical picture of your desired reality. It is valuable because it forms a especially clear, sharp image which can then attract and focus energy into your goal. It works along the same lines as a blueprint for a building. You can make a treasure map by drawing or painting it, or by making a collage using pictures and words cut from magazines, books or cards, photographs, lettering, drawings, and so on. Don't worry if you're not artistically accomplished. Simple, childlike treasure maps are just as effective as great works of art. Basically, the treasure map should show you in your ideal scene, with your goal fully realized. Here are some guidelines that will help you make the most effective treasure maps. Point 1. Create a treasure map for a single goal or area of your life so that you can be sure to include all the elements without getting too complicated. This enables the mind to focus on it more clearly and easily than if you include all your goals on one treasure map. You might want to do one treasure map for your relationships, one for your job, one for your spiritual growth, and so on. Point number 2, you can make it any size that's convenient for you. You may want to keep it in your notebook, hang it on your wall, or carry it in your pocket or purse. I usually make mine on light cardboard, which holds up better than paper. Point number 3, be sure to put yourself in the picture. For a very realistic effect, use a photograph of yourself. Otherwise, draw yourself in. Show yourself being, doing, or having your desired objective, traveling around the world, wearing your new clothes, or being the proud author of your new book. Point number 4, show the situation in its ideal complete form, as if it already exists. You don't need to indicate how it's going to come about. This is the finished product. Don't show anything negative or undesirable. Point number 5, use lots of color in your treasure map to increase the power and impact on your consciousness. Point number 6, show yourself in a real setting. Make it look believable to yourself. Point number 7, include some symbol of the infinite which has meaning and power for you. It could be an Om sign, a cross, Christ, Buddha, a sun radiating light, or anything that represents universal intelligence or God. This is an acknowledgement and a reminder that everything comes from the infinite source. Point number 8, put affirmations on your treasure map. Here I am driving my new red truck with a camper top. I love it and I have plenty of money to maintain it. Be sure to also include the cosmic affirmation. This or something better now manifests for me in totally satisfying and harmonious ways for the highest good of all concerned. The process of creating your treasure map is a powerful step towards manifesting your goal. Now, just spend a few minutes each day quietly looking at it, and every once in a while, throughout the day, give it a thought. That is all that's necessary.
So let's understand. ये जो treasure maps हैं, they are वाकई में treasure. It's a map for our life. So we're not going to complicate a treasure map. Say personally, from physical growth, whatever I want to do, whatever. I don't have to do activities, but I can just write them down what my intention is. And very important, very, very important, visually, it has to be appealing. So if you put your own picture, it's going to help you. Now, if you put the picture of your family and see these are family goals, it will help you. If you're creating something like spiritually, I want to do this and maybe go on a retreat and do meditate and do, maybe put that. Financially, if you have. So what is nicer is pick up any journal or pick up anything and just use pieces of paper, draw them, create them for one aspect. And what I do is I have stuck them in my inner wardrobe. Like when I open my everyday wardrobe, on the left-hand panel of the inner cover, I've stuck it there. So every time rose kapda nikalna hota hai, I just look at that. And the same almirah has my night clothes also. So twice a day, I am opening that cupboard to take out my clothes to wear. Now, each time I'm seeing them, I'm reading them, I'm just giving them good blessings and energizing. So what happens is, subconsciously, your mind, twice it's working on it. And kahin na kahin, gradually, aap pehle padhoge, sikhoge, look at it, and it'll start working on your subconscious mind. And then you'll think about it in the day. And there the power of 3 happens. Very important to put some, some symbol that you believe in. Like I believe in my Om, I believe in my Kamals. A lot of my things have Kamal, a lot of my things have sun. Because these are adding power. In fact, I even have the moon. They're adding power to your dreams. And you won't even realize when they start coming true one by one, one by one. And then you create another page. Okay, this is done. Now another page. Very important to do that. Very, very important to have affirmations as well. Because when you have them, they really make sense. Now, what kind of sample ideas for treasure maps are there? So let's understand. Detail mein jayenge one by one to see what possibly you can create your treasure maps for. Akshay, please take us through.
Here are a few possible ideas for treasure maps to stimulate your imagination. For health, show yourself radiantly healthy, active, beautiful, participating in whatever activities would indicate perfect health. Weight or physical condition, show yourself with your perfect body, feeling wonderful about yourself. Cut a picture from a magazine that looks like you, would look in your perfect condition, and paste a photo of your head on the body. You can make statements with balloons around them coming out of your mouth like in cartoons to indicate how you are feeling, such as, I feel wonderful and look fantastic now that I weigh 125 pounds and I'm in great physical condition.
So if you have goals, say if you were a particular weight pehle and you want to be like that, take out your old picture and put it. Or put up any celebrity's picture and just superimpose your face on it. And put a thought bubble the way you have in comics and just write whatever you would like to say that time. Visualizing yourself saying that, oh my God, it feels amazing to be here, right? Whatever. Say you have marathon goals. Oh, I'm so happy to have run this so many kilometers marathon. And I'm so glad to champion it. Put a medal there. Whatever makes it real for you. Second part is self-image and beauty. So yes.
Show yourself as you want to feel about yourself. Beautiful, relaxed, enjoying life, warm and loving. Include words and symbols that represent these qualities to you. For relationships, put photos of yourself and your friend, lover, husband, wife, family member, or co worker in your treasure map with pictures, symbols, and affirmations showing that you are happy, loving, communicating, enjoying a deep, wonderful sexual relationship, or whatever is appropriate and desirable for that relationship. If you're looking for a new relationship, find pictures and words that represent qualities you desire in the person and the relationship. Show yourself with the ideal person for you. For job or career, show yourself doing what you really want to do with interesting, agreeable co-workers, earning plenty of money. Be specific about how much you want, in the location you desire, and any other pertinent details. For creativity, use symbols, colors, and pictures that indicate your creativity is really opening up. Show yourself doing and manifesting creative, beautiful, interesting things and feeling great about them. For family and friends, show members of your family or friends in totally harmonious, loving relationships with you and each other. For travel, show yourself wherever you want to be, with plenty of time and money to enjoy your location. And so on. You get the idea and have fun.
So have you really got the idea how to create these visual maps? So thank you, Rahul sir, for showcasing this book. It's time to move on to our art of creative thinking. So very, very important in a world of manifestation, in a world of dreams, where we want our dreams to come true. These treasure maps are very, very helpful to create the ideal scenes. Of course, हर सुबह हम manifest कर रहे हैं power of dreams में 1 minute लगा रहे हैं. फिर हम शायद divine love manifestation meditation भी कर रहे हैं या अपनी own recorded meditation कर रहे हैं. Great. But visually is very important. Pictures speak louder than the words they say. So add value to the pictures, add your creative maps, your treasure maps, and see how you resonate with them. They have to be a go-to place and feel happy about it. Now, this beautiful section today that Akshay will read for us is about throwing ourselves into ourselves. Now, that is something we haven't really done. Yes, treasure map is like a vision board, 100%. Jitendra ji, except that vision board has all our vision for our life, all 5, 7 things. Treasure map is just for one part. So if you have a vision, a vision board with 5 elements, this will only be one part of the element. So just one thing, very concentrated. So let's understand the science of throwing ourselves into ourselves. Yes, please, Akshay, over to you.
If you're not doing what you want, what are you doing? Surely it follows that you must be doing what you don't want to do. You're probably doing what others want you to do. Give yourself permission instead to follow what excites and intrigues you. This is how you can get the most out of yourself. The novelist James Joyce did not compromise. He wrote in whatever way he wanted. His talents did not suit traditional academic writing, so he made the most of his experimental writing abilities. He did not take into account the reader or the market potential of his writing. He made no concessions. He wrote in his own unique style. The result was Ulysses, a turning point in modern literature. It presents the unedited, uncensored stream of consciousness thoughts of a fictitious character. There are long, chaotic passages, strange words, and obscure allusions. Many consider it the greatest book ever written. Others consider it the worst. It was even banned for many years. Whatever, the novel is exactly what Joyce wanted. He indulged himself and completely disregarded the readers and critics. He was not striving for something outside himself, such as critical acclaim or high sales figures. He was not concerned with the world ambitions, and this is why, paradoxically, Ulysses became an enduring classic. Our society believes that work must be hard and unfulfilling. The important things many of us really want to do, dance, act, paint, or write, must be frivolous because they are enjoyable. A talent for acting, music, or poetry is not taken seriously because it appears to be too satisfying and too enjoyable.
Now, of course, the world is changing. I mean, even being a stand-up comedian is not taken up as so frivolous because so many avenues have opened up. But yet, the main thing, the main paradox, the main mentality is to be into something concrete, the tried and tested path. So that is why it's very important to do what you love to do, not what others expecting you to do. So let's understand a little more. Yes, please.
A student on one of my workshops was not doing what she wanted to do. She worked in the admin department of her company, but wanted to work in the marketing department, producing adverts. She felt her creativity was going unappreciated. She wanted to resign. She had applied to the transfer to the marketing department, but had been frequently rebuffed. I explained that she needed to do the marketing. Up until now, she had tried to persuade her superiors with words. Words disappear the moment they are said. She needed to show them. I got her to do an advertising campaign for her company. She came up with the concept, wrote the strapline, took the photos, designed the layouts, the whole shebang. It was better than the advertising campaign her company had just done. She showed her superiors. They moved her to the marketing department immediately. They could see that she was more suited to marketing. If you're totally self indulgent, you will be at your best. You will be doing what you care about most. Think enjoyment, think pleasure. Do what you most want to do. It's better for you, it's better for everyone. If you are satisfied, your satisfaction spreads to others.
Isn't this so important? If you are satisfied, your satisfaction spreads to others. If you are in love with yourself, your love travels to everyone else. You can be the channel of love. If you're happy, then happiness can spread everywhere around. So it's time to break the monotonous thinking. It's time to think of enjoyment and think of pleasure. The next chapter is very important also. Let's read that. Very important for us to be indulging in ourselves. Very important for us to be going completely in ourselves into what we like. Now let's understand the science of using shock and awe. What does this mean and how will it take us through? Yes, please, let's start.
The haphazard rows of razor sharp teeth loomed out at me through the murky green liquid. I could see past them into the large black hole of its monstrous gully. Its cold, black eyes stared at me, and I stared back into the face of death. I first saw the physical impossibility of death in the mind of someone living by, Damien Hirst at the Saatchi Gallery in London in 1992. It was an artwork that dominated the era, a 4.3-meter real shark preserved in a huge glass tank filled with formaldehyde. The viewer stood a few inches away from the gaping jaws of a fully grown shark. It created a disturbingly immediate and visceral experience. The shark brought you face to face with life and death. Hirst didn't want a painting of a shark. He wanted a real shark, real enough to frighten, to force the viewer out of their comfort zone. The work explores our greatest fears. You're forced to think about death. It doesn't give you any choice. You have to confront your darkest nightmares. In the creative world, shock for the sake of shock is justifiable, since it forces us to ask why we are shocked. Stirring others out of their complacency can be good for everyone. The role of the scientist is generally to reassure, to establish certainty, to correct error. The role of the creative is to disturb, question, and unsettle. The creative mind reveals deeper, more fundamental truths than mere facts.
Very important for us to understand this particular line, the last line which Akshay read. The role of the creative, which is all of us, read it. The role of, you can read it, my role is to disturb, question, and unsettle. जो चीजें हैं उनको क्वेश्चन तो करे. कई बार डिस्टर्बेंस आए, कई बार एक्साइटमेंट आए, कई बार अनसेटल्ड फीलिंग आए, then finally the feeling, okay, I'm settled. Because our mind is revealing deeper, more profound, more fundamental truths than mere facts. which is the reason when our mind feels something which is absolutely unachievable and we are so happy about it, it becomes like magic, it happens. Because we have believed in the profound truth of love and light. We're attracting the law of attraction by feeling it. So please go reveal in your deeper being. Please go find what's exciting for you. Please understand. Yes, let's read further.
It is common practice for directors to sneak into cinemas when their film has just been released to see the audience's reaction. When Steven Spielberg's Jaws previewed in cinemas in 1975, he took a dose of Valium and stood anxiously at the back of a screening in Dallas. He flicked his gaze between the audience and the screen. After the scene where a boy on a raft is killed, a man in the front row stood up, ran out past Spielberg, threw up all over the carpet in the lobby, went to the bathroom to clean up, and then returned to his seat. That's when I knew I had a hit, said Spielberg. If you haven't got the attention of your audience, you're talking to yourself. A vending machine in a shopping mall drew a great deal of attention. It displayed rows of shiny new pistols instead of chocolates, chocolate bars, or cans of drinks. On close inspection, they turned out to be real. It wasn't easy to buy guns as sweets. You are urged to put money in the slot because your donation will go to the Gun Control Alliance for a gun-free South Africa, Align explained. This is how easy it is to get hold of a gun in South Africa. We are used to government posters warning us about this or that. We turn off. That ambient advertising campaign had impact of course you couldn't get a gun from the machine, but it made the point that in South Africa you could buy a gun just as easily as you would buy a chocolate bar. The roots of shock run deep into the history of culture. The real currency of our time is not money, it's attention. You need everyone's attention in order to deliver a message of substance. New ideas will always shock. Don't let the reaction of others unnerve you.
Very important. Now, many people are doing many things. Some things are like too much. You're like, oh my God, how do I ever go there? How do I reach his power? Because we don't have to compare. We don't have to that. We don't need everyone's attention. We have to, we need, all of us need validation. Now, there will come a time when we will be so happy, secure in our world, we don't need validation. But let's understand, if we are ready to create new ideas, we're ready to create new substance, we are ready to get settled. So Nicholas Serota says, the undoubted shock, even disgust provoked by the work is part of its appeal. So that just simply goes on to say that all of us need to shock ourselves. Very, very important for us to understand that until we are not comfortable with something, we will not think about it. If we're comfortable, we'll be in a comfort zone. To come out of comfort zone and think beyond the point is what is important. To have that mind which is a seeker, to have an inquisitive zest is important. So thank you so much, Rahul sir. Now let's have the heart thought. Great idea of the vending machine with the pistols to grab the attention, bring across the message. So again, there are sometimes some ads which are so sporadic. They don't at all go with the product that they're selling, but the point across is given very well. So that's because you're just weaving a different story, a different line, and then you're shocking the audience. Oh, this is what it's all about. So yes, very, very important to have a beautiful life full of new beginnings. And of course, the month of December, I would call it decisive December. So all of us will have a new year resolutions and we will do some mental work for ourselves. Go for the joy, make that your motto this year. Go for the joy. Life is here for you to enjoy today. So let's read it. Kamakshi ji, you've raised your hand. Thank you so much. Let's over to you.
Good morning. This year, I do the mental work for change. Many of you start New Year resolutions on the first of the year, but because you don't make internal changes, the resolution fall away very quickly. Until you make the inner changes and are willing to do some mental work, nothing out there is going to change. The only thing you need to change is a thought, only a thought. Even self-hatred is only hating a thought you have about yourself. What can you do for yourself this year in a positive way? What would you like to do for yourself this year that you did not do for yourself last year? What would you like to let go of this year that you clung to so tightly last year? What would you like to change in your life? Are you willing to do the work that will bring about those changes? Thank you.
Very important. Are we all willing to do the work that will bring about these changes, or are we just right now in the world of reading, and understanding? Time to work also. So time to work, time to do the mental change. Thank you, Kamakshi, so much for reading. Thank you, Akshay, for being my voice. And thank you, Akshay, for also recording the meditation which is coming up. So Rahul sir, let's make Akshay the co-host so that he can record. If you want to change, then let's just be ready for it. Today we'll be healing people. So I have a lot of requests, so I will not be naming them. A lot of people apparently are unwell. So each one of us imagines that unwell person we want to send healing to. Alternatively, you can imagine a Sangha Mitra Shivani. She's also not well. So, or whoever you think you want to put. And I'm going to be taking you through in a process where you'll be just thinking and understanding what's coming your way. It doesn't matter what's coming up. Just go with the flow and just see what's going to happen. So everyone, time to get our back straight, our feet firmly grounded, our hands comfortably placed on our laps. And take a deep breath in and out. In, out. One more time. In, out. Life is magical. Life is a healer. Life is a mirror. Let's peep into this mirror of life and know that all of us have come here on Mother Earth for a reason. We have all been made the channels of love and light. And all of us have come here to become those. We have deviated from a path thinking we needed outside meddling to help us become a better person, a more healthier person, or somebody who should be reaching somewhere, not realizing we are the ones who are healed ourselves. Let's no longer think of ourselves as victims of any illness, of any situation, of any event. Let's no longer give attention to the disaster, the unavoidable misfortune, or the way somebody spoke to us. Let's all remember that words have power. If we are suffering physically, it's because we've said some words or heard some words and let them resonate in us, and they have manifested as a dis-ease in our body. Now it's very important for us to look at our consciousness, to become aware, to recognize, to acknowledge that we have that uncomfort, the dis-ease in our body. Or the same for anybody else. And most importantly, believe that healing is coming in the right time and the right place. Often the message of illness is to be quieter, to spend more time, to be in touch with our inner selves. So whenever we have an illness, be it as simple as flu, let's understand that each one of us has been given time to look in, to go inward, to think deeper, to connect with ourselves. Illness often helps us to relax. It helps us to let go of all our busy being, our busyness, and all the efforts that we're doing for anything else, because we're that time dropping into a world of doing nothing but relaxing. Our body discards food, it doesn't feel like eating because it's healing. And that time we're ready to receive the nourishment our energy needs, that energy is giving us. The healing energy is nourishing us. Now, the fundamental healing always comes from within us. Let's understand that. We may require some external treatment at times, but If we work deeply within ourselves, we realize we don't need to get sick in order for our inner selves to get our attention. So let's learn to meditate as much as possible, to connect with our inner being, our inner child, our higher self, thank them, appreciate them. Illness and accidents are coming with messages. Perhaps they're repressed feelings. Perhaps they're telling us to take better care of ourselves. Yet let's accomplish this healing by ourselves or helping someone. Let's always be a channel of love and light. Let's always be a channel of healing blessings. It's very imperative for us to understand that we are not guilty of creating any illness or any blame game. We are now understanding the indication of why we're going through what we're going through, just because it's a gift that will help us to learn and to grow. This beautiful creative visualization morning is a most amazing magical tool all of us embracing, because it comes from one straight source of energy. Our own mental concepts, our images are going to fade away when this beautiful healing light will heal us all. It's very important for us to understand that whenever we want to heal ourselves or anybody, we must picture themselves in a beautiful zone of light. Pink, yellow, whatever, green, whatever your heart wants, any color. But that light should be helping us energize. And we should see the problems as completely healed and cured and diminished from the body. Let's understand that we all are here to heal ourselves and to others. We don't have to take preventive medication anymore. Our body takes time, but it can heal itself so beautifully just because it's ready to heal. Let's understand the science, the power that our mind has, which can heal the toughest of things just by mental subconscious beginnings. Let's understand that our inner confidence, our power, our love and light helps people heal. Let's keep in mind that healing starts from within. When we are whole, healed and complete, we can heal the others as whole and complete. Let's remember at a deeper cosmic level that we are here as one. And then this oneness is radiating all throughout. Then the healing will be effective. We'll be able to focus. We'll be able to visualize a peaceful, happy person, whole, healed and complete. Then even the touch of death will be feeling like an embracement of death, because you would have lived a beautiful life, nothing to be scared of. Let's use these principles in our oneness, in our science, in our nature. Let's think of ourselves as a link, as a channels with divine omnipotence, divine omniscience, all of us having incredible healing power that we can tap into whenever we want. As simple as it, just call on it. Let's now think that we are all holding hands and sitting in a huge circle. You can imagine your neighbor to be any Sanghamitra on your left and right. See them. It doesn't matter who's choosing who. Just imagine sitting in a circle of love. Look at the person on your left. Hold his hand or her hand. Look at the person on the right. Hold his hand or her hand. Now, when all of us are sitting in a circle of love, holding hands, let's bow down to Mother Earth, for she's giving us so much of healing. Let's tell her, dear Mother Earth, we are so grateful to you for allowing us to all become channels of love, light, and healing blessings. This person that we think of who's unwell and who needs a healing is in the center of the circle. It could be anyone, a loved one, could be Shalu's mother, could be Shivani herself, could be Jitendraji's daughter, could be anyone. Imagine that person, or maybe all three of them right now, sitting back to back, facing the circle of love. Anybody you want to add in that inner circle of love, please do that. Now let's just know that all of us are here for a reason, a purpose. We're all going to say a prayer of protection. We, the healers, have come together in a circle of love with a full intention of healing the people in the center. All of us are channels of love. All of us energy beings. And right now we feel that huge surge of energy as all of us are joined physically by hands, emotionally by our energy. And now feel the energy from your body getting multiplied 10 times. Within your body, you feel a surge of energy, 10 times energy, the healing energy. And now from every pore of your body, especially from the front part of your body, feel the energy, the excess energy leaving you and this healing light touching the ones in the center. They're entering the pores of all beings, trillions of pores in the body, trillions of cells in the body, and your healing energy from all directions, 4 directions, because you sit it in a circle, is now entering each one of them. It's very important for the energy to keep going on and on. Feel yourself in a total circle of energy. In the center are the people who need healing, and the sides are we who are the healers who are sending our love and light. Now let's envision the spiritual energy of the universe flowing through us all. So we are giving the light and love and blessings and from all our Brahmyandras, the crown chakras, a lot of cosmic energy is filling us in. Because all we are doing is channeling the energy. You may find a lot of excess energy in your body. You may find tingling, so enjoy the feeling. Too excess of it will anyways flow out of you because you're a channel of love and light. Now think of our higher self sending energy to the person and his higher self to support them in wherever they need to be healed, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, however, keeping in mind that it's okay the person chooses not to get well. It doesn't matter whether he or she wants to get well or not. Your intention is to heal him, and so you are. And picture the person as a person the way he or she truly is, a divine being, a beautiful, perfect expression of God, naturally healthy and happy. Now, all of you can amass your own energy and say to the highest power that all the excess energy that had to flow from me has flown already. And now the even more excess energy that is there, let that heal the circle of love in itself. The healers are healed. And yet there is a lot of spiritual energy left. And that healing is leaving the circle of love and healing others unseen, unnoticed in the world. You as a healer have healed people in the front, people next to you, yourself, and people far behind you, wherever they are. The healing is immense. Manish is healed completely. Shivani is healed completely. All people we thought are healed completely. See them in the pink bubble of light, radiating love, light, and happiness. Meenakshi is healed completely. We are all healed, whole, and complete. It's very imperative for us to understand that now it's time for us to unclog the hands that are now holding each other. Take your hands back in your beautiful body, keep them on your laps, no longer touching each other. And now just rub them together. Rub them, for there's so much of energy, there's heat, there's love, there's light, and we're putting it all together in the right place at the right time. Now bless your wonderful head first, because it became the channel of receiving energy from the cosmic power, the Brahmyandra. Thank you, dear brain, conscious mind, subconscious mind, for allowing me to become a channel. Mental games are beautiful. Bless your face with all the five senses. I could see beautifully, I could hear beautifully, I could say beautifully, I could feel beautifully, I could smell beautifully, because I am a healer. Touch your neck, touch your shoulders, touch your arms, your backside, your feet, front side, bottom to up. And now take your minute or two and feel the energy in your body. Are you feeling lighter? Are you feeling better? Are you feeling that you have been a channel of giving? And when knowing that when I give, I get. And can we see this mass prayer of love, light, and healing blessings? To all the people, souls, and divine beings, whoever needed healing, may our group healing touch you, heal you, make you whole, healed, and complete. May the healing be in order of how it should be in the divine timing. May all of us be graced with divine love. And so it is. With this beautiful feeling of being blessed and being blessed and being a channel for blessing, let's look at each other and bless ourselves. Love, light, and healing blessings for you, Meenakshi, for Manish, Jitendraji, Shivani, Ritu, Ruchi, Vijayji, Kamakshi, Nikita, Pratimaji, Ushaji, Surendraji, Richa, Shalu, Manisha, Neha, Rahul sir, Amrita ma'am, Arvindji, Pinaji, Shami, Ankur, and Bharat. Love, light, and blessings. May you be abundant. So now that you've had a brush with being a healer, exercise this, try this out. When anybody says I have a headache, or anybody says I have a stomach ache, just know one thing, that your healing means the world. Just do it and ask the person a while later, are you feeling? And just see the magic. You probably have no idea how wonderfully you can heal people without any medicines, just by touch, and even not, sometimes not even by touch, distant healing. So thank you, thank you, thank you for healing so many beautiful souls today and for healing yourselves. Any questions, any reflections? And thank you, Akshay, for recording this for all of us. Yes, Kamakshi, please shoot.
It's really miraculous. I have this reflection only. Yesterday only I got to pray. There were many cases, but the first case which I came, the patient had an injection fraction of just 14%. His heart was working just 14%. He was refused surgery from everyone. And we needed to operate because he had this big stone in his urinary bladder. So I sat, I decided what to do, how to do. And when I got remembered about ki, we can heal others. And when I prayed that meditation, I took time, I blessed that person, and the operation went very well. So no need to call anyone. At night, around 8 p.m., I got a call. The patient was very sick. She bled around 7 liters of blood, had to transfuse 11 units of blood, like lots of things were given. And ek bar, I thought ki I lose hope. But then her MRD number was having the magical numbers 121, and आगे उसके कुछ था words I cannot tell कि वो complete हो जाए, और वो that again gave me energy कि नहीं, she can be saved. And by 12 she was off ventilator, she was not put on ventilator, she was recovering, she was absolutely pain free. I got back at 1 and I was feeling so happy that there is a magic. There's definitely a magic. Just wanted to share that. It was a beautiful experience. Thank you.
Give me goosebumps. Thank you so much for sharing the divine experience. So when we believe in the power, and you are blessed, you have a tag of doctor in front of you. So people like you, when you realize that, apart from your studies, you're magical healer beings, amount of magic you can do is not funny. So
Yeah.
keep witnessing this beautiful magic, Kamakshi. And thank you for making my morning so beautiful and blessed. It's just very beautiful. Thank you everyone for using your magical healing powers and for blessing yourselves and others. Lots of love, lots of light. Be blessed, my dear ones. Let's see each other. Today I can see the number 21 here also. So I think, yeah, lovely. Thank you, everyone. And let's see each other tomorrow at 5. Until then, lots of love and light. Thank you. You want to say something, Ritu? Okay. Lots of love and light. Thank you.